home and
He probably doesn't say, "Let me eat
He
your ass."
does. He doesn't
He
even hint
probably
at
says
it.
it really
Nah, he
intelligently.
just goes.
I'm going to cohabitate your anus. Like,
I think he goes
Whoa.
straight to the groceries, man.
he definitely eat pussy before anything else.
oh duh,
He starts there,
duh.
and then she's like, "You want to have sex?" He goes, "Only if you're okay with that. Only if that."
And
He,
that
does
is
he
not
make her? Does he
of
make
me
her
now.
sign an NDA on a Microsoft Surface that he carries around with him?
We're all over the place. So that's what I'm so confused right now. And I'm
You just have to
disappointed.
be.
And I'm disappointed. I should not have ever been common at any point in my life.
I mean,
Alibi.
you
You should have changed your
Nailed it
name to
though.
Alibi.
I should tonight. Let's do it. I'm not too late. Rename. Thanks for the heads up, A-Quil.
I just like to bust you out when you don't do it. So good job, man. You caught it on your own this time.
No, I didn't. They just said I should change my name, and it made sense.
Oh my bad. I missed the whole thing, and my stupid sound was stupid.
I was,
I didn't. I missed the last like 20 seconds or whatever y'all was saying.
It's all right.
we weren't saying much.
Nothing important. Just trying to convince me that I should live my best life in college. It's good. I'm glad I dodged a whole lot of bullets.
What'd you dodge?
Huh?
What'd you dodge?
Mad bullets.
Chlamydia?
That. I'm hella private though, man. Like I'm glad there's only a handful of people that know me in that type of intimate level. You know what I mean?
Everybody check in, check in.
Really? I'm the other way around. I need people to sing songs about me.
Hey.
Get down back in the day. Sweet Dick Willie.
Oh, man. Hey man, we had a great pod. I don't really understand where all the hate came from. That's why I called you earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
I really called because I never listen back, and
Are we going to talk about the hate?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
we are. I'm gonna let A-Quil intro things.
I'm gonna dry the ship. Y'all keep talking casually,
but
don't
but
get
I,
into the details.
I
Just
did
keep it surface. You know,
Yeah.
very very wide and inch deep.
That was the plan. But yeah, no, I was walking around and I was listening. I listened to like half of it, and I was like, I don't really understand what the complaints is all about, man. Like we gave a lot of props. We got our jokes off, but you know.
I mean,
I feel like we said plenty of times we all enjoyed the album.
This album this pisses me off because there's a few albums I want to be classics. This was one of them. But if you look at our scores, there's only like 2 3s, and it's impact. So it's like, bro, it's like, hard as fuck to push
musically. It's very good, but
yeah. We
look outside the music.
Here's the thing. Before on the IG, I hadn't done my rubric yet. And so the IG question was, is it a classic? And I said, yes. And then when I pulled out the rubric and I had to answer these questions, it was this close. It was still really, really, really close, but I can't give it a classic. I just couldn't. I tried. I came close. Wait, do you have Alibi spelled this way for a reason? So you could Alibi?
Alibi.
Okay.
I guess the only I'm looking at, and this is literally just chance. Survival was foreign production. I'd be curious to hear your missteps on production for this album. That's the number one reason why I like it so much was the Kanye effect.
Yeah, we got to dive into all these individually and see where that point could have been. I think Survival took the bullet on the episode, but after further review, apparently.
What do you mean? From who?
No, you said it yourself. You were like, you think the extra point was on you?
Oh, yeah.
I did the math. No, I did the science. It was on A-Quil.
Yeah, apparently it's on me because you and Joe balanced each other out. Alibi was in the pocket, so apparently I fucked it up. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm with it.
Joe gave it a 24. You gave it a 20. That averages out to 22. I gave it a 22.
I gave it a 20 though.
Yeah, but it averages out. You and Joel's score averages out to classic.
Okay.
I called it a classic. A-Quil did not, man. He's the difference.
I didn't either. I called it a 21. It was real close.
Yeah.
There it is.
All
We'll
right,
get it.
Joel, you gave us a fucking
But it's
24?
such-
Joel's
but
wilding.
Wow.
Joel loves to listen to He Screamed.
I can give this album. I can defend it. I can defend the lyrics. I can defend the production. I can defend the replayability. You don't skip songs.
How?
You can't skip songs in this album. You play it
Hey,
right.
Ken, I skipped Go and testify every time.
How often do you listen to this album
I
though?
listen to this album all the time. I like this album.
Really?
Like this album.
I
This
do
album
too,
is
but I
dope.
don't listen to it all the time.
This album is dope. The
It
corner.
is a good album.
I'm not
It's a great
disagreeing
album.
with you. It is though.
I see Kiki joining us on Twitter. Kiki was harsher than y'all, man. She gave us like a 14.
Which is it doesn't.
Wow.
Damn.
Great.
The light skin hate.
Oh, Kiki, you're not with us.
There's
Kiki, are you riding?
She was not riding for
She
comment.
was not riding.
I will say I do appreciate. I'll officially into the show. I was just making sure all the streams are good. I will say I do appreciate a lot more people who, even when they're mad at our scores, they're literally doing the rubric with us. Like, nah, fam, I did the rubric. It was this. I get this for impact. This, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not mad at that. I appreciate that. Like, just don't come yelling at us with nothing to back it up just because it's your favorite artist. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, we do hours and hours of work. This isn't just like we come to the podcast with nothing and it's, you know, a bunch of motherfuckers just shooting the shit. Like, we do a lot of research on it.
We out
and
here.
I wouldn't know about all that. I wouldn't say hours and hours. I'd say like minutes and minutes.
Nah.
Look, man,
You've definitely done it.
this is
You do it twice
it's
a
mad
week.
hours. This is like my life. You know what I mean? I got decades into this, man, to have these opinions.
Yeah, and even that, like, you know, I actually don't know if we all bought it in 2005. I think we did, but like, that's research. You know what I'm saying?
No, but
Like, that counts.
To your point, though, we actually take this seriously. Me personally, I think this was a personal attack by various people on this podcast on this individual.
Areas.
The narrative.
I think it was just one.
I think there were we reviewed that were personal attacks on the artists themselves, which we'll go into later. But
Man, look, we need to get it cracking because I think a whole lot of y'all in y'all feelings for no reason.
this is the third strike on you three. You three have let me down 3 times. Just
What were the other two?
that's
If you don't get your ass out of here.
I know.
3 times y'all have.
What were
just-
the other two, Joel?
What?
What were the other two?
The other
Kanye.
two- It's
Yeah,
Kanye West.
definitely Kanye.
And
Kanye
one
West.
that's and one that's coming.
This week, we might as well. Let's get to it.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Not
you,
yet.
hey, that's what y'all doing this week.
No. The next week, though.
Let me
next
set it
one's
off.
good.
Let me set it off. Let's
Oh, no, you're right. 2 weeks.
Is it the next week?
Nah, it's 2 weeks from now. Go ahead, A-Quil. My bad. Look at, man, you getting the mood right.
Got the incense.
Cracking, man.
God bless.
Hey, man,
God
don't pull your
bless.
shoulders out after lighting that, man.
I know,
Yo,
right?
hey, hold on. They gotta earn the shoulders. We got to get some more followers. When we get that YouTube and them Twitter, IG follows up, the shoulders will come out, man. Y'all gotta earn
Hey,
it.
all right.
This nigga's tricking. I'm not mad, man.
Only for the views. Only
How many,
for the likes.
how many followers for me to take the hat off? Let's go.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. How many followers for you to take the hat off? Me pull the shoulders out. Survival take the glasses off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Joe to grow a full beard. What we need, man? What we
Full
need?
hobo.
All of you, yeah, everyone's wearing hats but me and Alicia. I mean, Alicia out here with the naturals.
I gotta get my.
Juice and berries.
Hey man,
With the juice and berries, dog.
gotta get my God bless on real quick because this.
Don't forget.
I want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining us here. The Liner Notes episode 21 live. We here. God bless.
That's how I envisioned Alibi in college.
No, Alicia got you fucked up.
Oh man. She probably didn't though. I'm such a much different.
Oh, what up to the chat?
If-
So everybody, we're streaming live right now. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, we on YouTube. We out here. Snap. We out here. What's going on? Yeah, we at the squad once again. Got Survival in the building. Alibi, aka Frederick Douglass. Joe in the building. Alicia's back. You know what I'm saying? We had to put her in witness protection program after that 50 Cent episode because they was coming for her. We had to hide her, but she back now. We good.
She's in Arizona somewhere or Ohio.
You know what I mean? Yeah. How y'all doing? How are your weeks so far?
My week's cool. This is my last week of freedom. Back on the plantation Monday. So,
man,
I've been day drinking.
Day drinking, night drinking, dawn drinking.
It's been a blast. My liver's not happy. but my spirits are high.
Hey, that's all you need. That's very nice. Joe,
Alibi, you need to look inside your daughter's eyes and realize that you can change the world through her.
I can change the world through her.
Joe said he got to leave early. He's trying to get up on a bed.
You gonna grab her?
What's good with you, Joe?
Good, man. My week is straight. Got my Moderna. Shot 1, not dead.
Oh, we almost fully vaxxed, man. We outside. Who's last?
Right.
So Pablo got his.
Nah, I got mine.
Everybody's good?
What'd you
Got mine
get?
yesterday.
Oh, we in these streets.
I got my second shot 2 weeks ago.
Let's go.
Good.
We out here.
We're ready for the for the
live episode.
Live on set.
Yeah, man, we ready.
We in these streets. Liner Notes crew.
What did everybody get?
I got Moderna.
Yeah,
Moderna.
I got the Pfizer.
Is that a thing?
Pfizer?
Do we gangbang? We claim sets?
Yeah.
I'm out.
You were really good. Moderna,
I got
What
the
you got,
Pfizer.
cuz? You got that Pfizer?
I got the Pfizer.
And that JJ, one and done.
Oh, you got the one and done? That's what
One
I
and
wanted.
done.
Shit.
One hitter quitter, man.
And you're
I'm
here
here.
right now. You got it yesterday and you're here.
I'm good. Me and my wife, she got hers too. But love you, boo.
She got symptoms?
Oh, she's not feeling too well. She's okay. I've been okay the whole time. Outside of just like a little soreness real quick, but I've been straight.
Get
I
well
could have
soon.
predicted that. Get well soon, but I could have called that.
Yeah.
How so? I'm Superman.
It's not. Yeah.
They got me right in the shoulder. That's what it was.
Yeah,
If we'd have
that's
got it
what it
somewhere else,
was.
it's different, man. See, I had my shoulders out yesterday, Alicia. Getting the shot, missed it, man. Man, I told him no more freebies.
That's that OnlyFans. I don't know, 79 OnlyFans accounts. See them shoulders.
Hey, line up 79 OnlyFans. Got to get them follows up, get them dollars up.
How do you show off a shoulder, man? You gonna be hitting them with the
Yeah.
It depends.
A little Harlem
if it's Throwback Thursday, a little Harlem Shake, or if it's Flashback Friday, a little Bankhead Bounce, you know what I'm saying? Oh, if it's like Smooth Sunday, rock the tank top and do a couple sets, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Alicia, how was your week?
It was great. It was filled with ratchet activities with my homegirls, being a single dog mom, all of it. Good. I'm tired, but it's good.
You with the homies?
Huh?
With the homies? Rolling with the homies?
I was
Rolling
I
with the
rolled with the
homies.
When with the homies.
Normally you don't do that.
Oh,
Who's with the homies?
Foreshadowing, by the way.
Yeah.
I
little bit.
almost
What?
bit.
got my fence. with the
word.
homies.
I got a quick question because since we're all vaxxed here, I'm more asking the fellas. So I'm not. I mean, Alicia, you chime in if you would like to. But fellas, what is the guys' version of vax and wax?
Oh.
Groomed and I don't know, groomed and
Pruned.
yeah. I'm with it. Let's go.
That doesn't,
Groomed and pruned, baby.
doesn't work. That doesn't
No?
work.
Nah, I don't think so.
I gave it a shot.
I mean, y'all can be vaxxed and waxed too, or vaxxed and clean shaven.
Yeah.
Vaxxed
No,
and
I'm not
groomed.
waxing that.
Ain't no 40-year-old virgins over here.
Nah, Playboy.
Okay, we'll figure it out later. And then shout out to anybody who celebrated Easter if y'all want to talk about it. We just kept with my pops, but other than that, didn't do too much. Yeah, that was last week, man. Goodness, this week went fast.
It did.
Want to give a quick shout out. You see it in Survival's name here. We gotta get a shout out and a RIP to brother DMX Earl Simmons.
Man.
Passed earlier today. Some people thought last night. Was battling for like the last week. Was it right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a tough pill to swallow, and I think Joel was talking about it a little bit earlier. Like the media does this thing where, you know, they like pre-type their shit up when some tragedy happens, and they just like wait to run it. They just wait to click enter. You know what I'm saying? And that's largely what it seemed like. Kind of that the writing was on the wall, and you know, that took a lot of steam out of the week.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the media; it was people in general. Like,
Yeah.
yo, I thought he was dead. Here's my DMX post. I love this
Right.
dude. But then it was silent, and we were focused on other things. But I'm like, he's still in the hospital. Like, he hasn't gotten out. If anything, we should just remember him now, because I didn't know what was going to happen. But the moment I hear you're in a vegetative state, generally you don't come back from a vegetative state, and when your brain is dead and your organs are failing, like that's just not what happens. So I just thought that was weird. Honestly, like I'm kind of I don't wish death on people, but I'm kind of relieved. When my grandmother died, she had dementia, and she didn't know who she was at all.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't operate, so we were crying, but it was better for her. DMX, the past I think 10 years when I seen him, you could just tell the effect of drugs, and it's like people we know who drink a lot forever, people we know who've done crack. You see it after a while. You just see these people, and you're like, bro, you're a shell of who you used to be. I hope you beat it, but even if you're lucky enough to beat it after 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 years, you're
Still
not,
like erodes your
like,
not physical and
to what you were. So I'm just happy he doesn't have to fight anymore, because I mean, as a person who's casually done drugs, because I enjoyed them, I've done whatever from drinking to perks to lean and all of that. Like, I understand. Like, I've never been hooked because I'm
meth
fortunate.
girls. Yeah.
But I know what it's like to come down from that shit, and to your body to be like, what the fuck? We need more of this shit. We don't know how to operate. So to think of someone who consistently needs some kind of drug in their system of all time, I understand it. And it was just like, fuck, man. Like, that is I don't wish it on anyone, man. So I'm just glad he's at peace. I hope his kids can find peace. We can grow up adjusted. And I just hope we all learn from it, bro. Like, that's what X was teaching us. Like, this is the
whole time. Yeah.
So I just hope we all learn. I know I did.
Yeah, Joe, that to your point about that, where you don't feel like bad, you feel more relieved. Like that's how I felt too when I lost my aunt a few years ago. Same, she had an accident, I want to say 2005 or 6. She, like, something happened and she collapsed in the lunchroom at work. But people thought she was taking a nap, but she had passed out. So like by the time they realized she was like out and they revived her, she had no oxygen to her brain for like 45 minutes. So she was vegetative state for years. And I remember seeing her, it was probably like a year or two after that. So she was still in the hospital that whole time. And she would respond, like she'd follow you with her eyes. And the doctors kind of got her to, like, you know, nod yes or no for like certain stuff. But you could kind of tell she didn't fully know. It's like when I saw her, like she didn't know who I was. And like when I'm like trying to talk to her and she's like kind of nodding, but she couldn't move either, you know what I mean? So when I was saying stuff, I'm like, I don't think she's really here, but I'm like, I remember my aunt, she was a go-getter. She took me around all over New York. We went to Staten Island, you know, Ellis Island, like we Statue of Liberty, like just ripping and running everywhere. Like she gave me like the grand tour. So seeing her in that bed, I'm like, it's not her. And even when I leaned in to kiss her, she couldn't move. But have you ever felt someone's spirit like pull away from you? I could feel her trying to move, but she couldn't move. And I was like, yeah, she don't know who I am. This I want to say it's not my aunt. It's my aunt, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, she's not here. It was tough. So when she passed, I was sad, you know, for like my dad had lost a sibling, and I was sad for my cousins who lost their mother. But I wasn't sad for her, because I'm like, she's released from this, you know, earthly body and can like be free now. You know what I mean? So I get what you mean by that. Like you hate seeing people that you love, you know, suffer. So yeah, if this is, you know, DMX in a better place, like so we talked about it in our previous podcast. Like, we love Earl Simmons, man. Like that he's a one of one, like, period.
Right.
So
Right.
you know, rest in peace to him, bless the family, everything. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, I would just add that, you know, I think he was a human being. I may have shared that on the previous pod, but I look at like DMX like I look at Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
there's certain people that it's like, fuck, dude, these dudes have lived like 50 lives. You know what I mean? Like, they've experienced the highest highs and the lowest lows. And like I shared with y'all and probably some other people today, I think for me, I imagine like if you're on the other side and you get to feel that love and that energy, I imagine when you look at the type of life that DMX had, if you were given the option of like coming back here or staying there, like I imagine the choice would be to stay there. You know what I mean? To finally just totally be at peace, no more fighting those demons, and to feel all that love. I mean, this is a dude who performing was his favorite thing, on the planet and in life,
You could tell.
And I
read that it was his Holy Ghost, like when he got on stage.
Yeah. Yep. And so to just be, to be able to be in that space or something even better than that, there's nothing you can do but be like, at least he's at peace, man.
Absolutely. 50 years, man. That does not feel old at all, man. Like only 50. Like, geez.
Yeah, but probably like 90, right? He's a dog, so it's like
times 7. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Man, go ahead, Alicia. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying, hell no, 50 don't feel old. We staring 50 in the eye.
Yeah, man.
Big facts. But yeah, rest in peace, Brother Earl, DMX Simmons. And shout out again to all the folks Joe had put together DMX forum a few months ago, and we met a lot of dope people in that forum. So just another realm that show you like how much this dude impacted folks' life, like the passion that folks had over DMX, the passion you see pouring out in people's timelines. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a beautiful thing. So it's like you hate that you see it here, and we were talking about that earlier. Like I do like that. I would say in the last 20 or so years, we have been better at giving people their flowers while they're still here. So I'm hoping that DMX was able to receive those, even if those demons didn't let him. I hope that Earl was able to receive those and know that people loved him, man. So
yeah, I mean, he had one speed, man. Go.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, man. I know for a fact I wouldn't have wanted to see. None of us would have wanted to see a DMX at 50% or 25%.
Not at all.
I got friends and homies that's parents have gone through that, and we didn't want to see that, man. He had one speed. Go.
Absolutely. But yeah, we had another loss here. Rest in peace, Prince Charles. Or no, we can keep going.
Philip.
Okay.
We smoking that Prince Charles.
Prince
Charles
Philip,
is not dead.
No, Philip.
Prince Philip. My bad. Prince Philip.
Look,
no,
I messed it up.
That's his son.
All of them.
Hey,
I don't got no beef with Charles, man.
We out here giving
on the
breaking
movie,
news.
I have no beef with Charles.
But what's messed up? No, it's Prince Philip. We messed up. But you know how many people's reaction to like this and other stuff with Meghan Markle were like, we can't wait for the next season of Crown. I was like, yo, this is real life. And folks like, they're like, I can't wait till the next season of the Crown. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Anyway, heavy week, man. So let's light it up a little bit. Because we're gonna get to this album here. We got Common B. We're talking about Go. So go. That was an episode this past Wednesday. The Liner Notes podcast that drops every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can download and stream your pods. And Alibi, he always does a great job. Well, first of all, can we clap it up for Alibi and his phenomenal promo this week? And he said he called it on the pod too. He said, I got something coming. He brother, you didn't disappoint, so we appreciate it. We follow through. We give that I give it a promo of 5. Nice. I think everybody would agree. Yeah.
I feel like that was college Alibi coming out.
Oh my God.
Saying you was tapping into something.
Hurts
man.
My spirit.
Well, yes.
Man. It wasn't an act. It wasn't an act. I'm just a different. I'm a changed person.
No, I'm gonna shoot Alibi some bail. Alibi did some acting and some theater in college, man. He was showing his acting chops.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? He know how to dive into characters. You feel me?
That's a fact.
So the question, as always, whether you listened to the podcast or you didn't, which you should have, shame on you, was Commons be a classic? And the answer is controversially no. It got a 21.8. Missed it by 0.2, or technically one more point. We're gonna take a look at our metrics here because we're gonna figure out where it got lost. It could be apparently it's on Survival or apparently it's on me. We finna see. It
what he got.
It wasn't on Alibi. Alibi made it clear he gave it a classic. He didn't want no smoke. It was
No.
due to his past history.
Still got smoked. I gotta stay out of my text messages and my DMs.
Alibi, what did this get? It got 71% of the IG viewers thought it was a classic. 33%, aka 1 out of 3, thought it was a classic on Twitter. But Alibi, what were some of the popular songs that people were
To the Pain of My Own Spirit and Soul, Go was one. Testify was also the intro got a lot of love as well. The Corner, I mean, it's a short album. So it was a lot of the same stuff coming up. I think one person said The Food.
Really?
Yeah. But beyond that, I'm trying to think if there was 2 or 3 songs that didn't
Which version?
get the vote. Yeah. Huh?
I said, which version?
Definitely the live.
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah.
Man.
I said The Food. I like The Food.
Food's good. I don't like
is.
the live version. Why? I would have been fine with a live version if the audio was better, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think
The audio is shitty.
They did. They did a bad job.
So the audio was shitty on that live version, but the energy was shitty on the other version.
It sounds like they recorded it off of the TV.
Yeah. They just put the boombox up to the joint and hit record.
Somebody was still recording with VCR in 2005.
Straight up.
Oh, that's all bad, man. Well, let's take a look at this. Alicia, you said that you gave it a 21, correct?
21.
So everybody, to be clear, so her total is not in the cumulative score, but she's in the pocket of us. So you gave it a 21. Survival gave it the lowest score with 20. It's not on him though. Joel gave it the highest score with 24. So big contrast. Alibi gave it a 22. So that's where the balance was. So the problem is I gave it a 21, and that's where everybody said it got fucked up. So I fucked the game up.
It's usually on the person who's the lowest because they could, they're the anchor, I guess.
But
I think we're used to you being the lowest. You and Joel averaged out. You and Joel averaged out to a 22.
Oh man. Wait, I'm sorry. Kiki, did you say Testify was one of your favorite songs?
It's insanity. She screamed.
Oh no, they
I
locked
like that
your
song,
love
Kiki.
away. They locked your love away, man. Let's look at some metrics here then. So let's see where we can find this missing point. Because we got to keep it a buck too, man. I never changed my score, but I do. I was telling Alibi this when I was loading our recording schedule in. I had marked like what albums were classic and what weren't, and blah blah blah. And this was waffling back and forth. It was a classic, then it wasn't a classic, then it was classic, then it wasn't a classic. Yeah, like right before we recorded the episode, it was no longer a classic. And so when Joe had said that on the episode, I was kind of shook because I forgot that it changed. So when he's like 21.8, and I was like, wait, it's not classic?
Yeah.
So I didn't change my score. Who changed their score like right beforehand?
What did you change though? Because I know exactly what I changed.
I didn't change anything. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm saying there were other changes.
Lyrics from if you listen to the pod, I changed it from 5 to a 4. So if I would have left it
man.
a 5, then it would have been a classic all around.
Survival's fault.
Because so Alibi went up.
I just couldn't do it.
Alibi went up to a 22. Joe, I feel like you were back and forth, but still, you were between the 23 and 24.
Yeah, lyrics went from a 5 to a 4 to a 5.
Okay, man.
Still on. It sounds like it's still on A-Quil.
Okay, so then let's look.
Survival went down. Joe went up.
So where do you guys think I could have gave it an extra point? Replay value, I gave it a 4. Lyrics a 5, production a 5, concept a 4, impact a 3. I think I could have took concept down to a 3. Real talk.
You probably could have. Okay.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say you. No, go ahead. Sorry.
She gave concept a 3. All right.
Yeah, see?
I'm just saying, I did. I went back and forth on that. It went between 3 and 4, and I gave it a 3. I didn't get it. I didn't get a concept from it. I actually would have liked if the concept was actually BE, stood for Before Erica, because that's what this was, right? This was the CD that wanted him. He wanted to remind you, I'm still rapping ass calm. I'm not Electric Circus. I'm not the kufi and the crochet pants and that. So that would have made more sense because there's no cohesiveness to the rest of this.
You wanted you to know he was back? He was back.
This is just before Erica.
Man.
So yeah, that's funny that that's where it came down for me. And I gave it a 21. So
he was back to making righteous bitches get low.
Hey man.
That's it.
Yeah, he's back in these streets.
I mean,
man.
So should I have given it one more point in impact then?
No, I was gonna say replayability. And the reason that I gave it a 5 is because I think musically it all fits together. So I look at so I gave production a 4, but I'm looking at it like it has nothing to do with him rapping on it. It's like if someone's presenting me a whole bunch of instrumentals and I'm gonna compose and comprise an album, am I gonna take these whatever it was 12 tracks? And like these are gonna be my 12 favorite tracks out of anything that anyone else is offering in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing happened with lyrics, but like when you put them together with his lack of intensity, like I don't even know how to describe his emotion, but like it all fits. It's like very low key and like kind of smooth, and I think it just fits together. Like I didn't skip anything. And I really like the project, which is why I gave the replayability a 5. But I didn't think that the production was spectacular, and that his writing was spectacular. I was like, it's cool, but I'll listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So like that's my justification of mixing those 4s with the 5 in replayability.
You niggas are weird. You gave replayability a 5, but they gave lyrics and production 4s. A-Quil gave replayability a 4, and they gave lyrics and production both 5s.
I can tell you exactly why. I can tell you exactly why.
I'm fucking with this shit, but I don't fuck with these things.
No.
I don't fuck with that shit.
I can tell you exactly why. How is production and lyrics a 5 and replayability is a 4? You ever been on the train in New York? Where you see people performing, you see the guys in the train and they're pop locking.
The flips and shit, and I don't
no,
any money.
No. But the ones just pop locking, and you're like, yo, them shits is dope. You give them a couple $. You switch your trains, you get to the E or the F or wherever you're going in New York. Then you see the dudes, doing the flips and all that shit. And you're like, yo, these dudes are phenomenal. You give them a couple $. You get in that other train later on, you see them same dudes pop locking. It's like, yo, I just seen some dudes doing the same shit but way better. I can't give you that, bro. This shit is old now. It's Common, man. Common's that first dude.
Common's the pop locker.
He's a pop locker, man. The things that he does, they get old real quick. Because there's way more depth out there, bro. So When I listened to it the first time, one good listen through, it's solid. When I get through a second listen through, it's like, but you didn't really say anything that's with replay value of like, I'm diving into this deeper. Like your takes are not that deep. So it flows very nice over this music. It's very nice, over these beats. The beats are phenomenal. He accompanies them well. Common's kind of like Conscious Realm Ja Rule, in my opinion. So
to be fair, can't you have a high replay value without a lot of depth in your lyrics?
say it again.
To be fair, can't you have a 5 replay value without a lot of depth in your lyrics?
Yes, I did that.
You can.
Exactly.
I gave him that. Yeah.
You can. For me, I don't want to keep hearing you say I'm back, because every time I hear that, you're saying I'm back, and it sounds so surface to me. It sounds so you're trying. I covered all this on a podcast. I don't want to say the same stuff, but that's what it was. It was annoying me. Every time I played this back, it's like, this don't sound like a dude that's really back. It's like someone trying to convince themselves that they're back. Your content is like your content is not as deep as it should be. So for me, yeah, that wears on replayability when I'm expecting you to be that type of dude to get these bars off. If you're listen, if you're not a dude that ain't really spitting like that, I don't have no expectation for you, then sure, I can put on some ignorant shit all day. I can listen to a Jeezy who I know I'm gonna give a 2 for lyrics, for instance. But I bet you if he got some banging ass beats, I'm gonna listen to that shit over and over because I know what to expect. When you put yourself in that realm of like, yo, I'm gonna be dropping bars and knowledge, and them shits, when I really listen to them, ain't really that much because I know the other dudes that go. Who do you think I'm putting on? This surface level knowledge or the real shit?
To be fair, isn't that why I feel like that's why conscious rappers get treated unfairly though? Because it's the fact that once you start,
I'm judging you in your realm. I'm just judging you in your realm.
Exactly. That's the thing. Everyone puts it in just a realm, unfortunately. So to your point, like Common isn't, we talked about some, he's not the most, we're talking about this subject, he's not the guy to go to on this subject. But however,
but he poses himself to be that. Would you say?
True. But to me, if someone poses as a gangster rapper, they're just viewed as rappers. Like if someone posed to be a flashy dude, they're still rappers. Whereas I feel like, not you're saying you're doing this now, but people who rap about particular topics, we're like, you better teach me about Maya Angelou 5 times in this album or do this and that. Whereas someone who isn't rapping about this topic, you're like, yo, I know you don't talk about this shit, so it's okay. Like the music's still great, your lyrics were good enough, and we'll go through. So I feel like I get what you're saying, but I just feel like unfortunately only rappers who do talk about like actual real issues get put there because we're like, oh, you're talking about that real shit. We need you to talk real good about this real shit, or else we're just gonna judge you super harshly.
I think go ahead. I've been talking.
Man, look, I think that this album sounds like a nigga who broke up with somebody. Man, it's not that complicated. Like a nigga's trying to get his groove back, and he's a dude that like instead of the problem is like most niggas is gonna go get lit.
Wait, he's Stella?
His lit is yeah. I mean, A-Quil said it on the pod, but like most dudes is gonna go get lit, and his version of lit like ain't everybody else's version of lit, so it don't sound like a great time. I think it's a good listen. Like I enjoy it in its space. Like this album is springtime to me. It's like nice springtime out, bounce. Things are fresh. Like put it on. I'm gonna drive around. Like it's 70 degrees and nice, and the snow is melting here in Minnesota, and it's great. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it ain't like the impact of like some of the other stuff we talk. It don't elicit those kind of emotions, man. It's just a cool vibe.
And a cool vibe is fine. So if it would have got a 20, and if it would have got a 22, I'd have no problem with that either. It just wasn't coming from me.
Your score was fine, man. 20 that's fine. That's where I think this album is.
Like, I don't have an issue with anyone's 20s or 21s. Like I just thought it was interesting that there was a 5 2 4s and then a 4 2 5s. And again, I just feel like you all don't like this dude personally, which is fine. This is who we are.
Man, you just
nah. You can't put that on me.
I don't like him, and I gave him a 22. Go ahead, Alicia.
Right?
Yeah, Alicia, what did you give him for replayability?
A 4.
Okay.
A 4, and it's just because here's the thing. This CD is so easy to listen to. In fact, the first, because I like to listen to them as soon as y'all tell me what y'all are doing next. I like to listen to them a couple of times. Mm-hmm. It's so short, and it's a really good CD, and it's short. And I just remember the first time it ended, I was like, I forgot how short this was. Like, I could have had more of this album. And you don't say that often because it's a good album. So it's not that it's hard to replay. I just don't replay it. I couldn't give it a 5 because I play The Fix regularly still. I play The Chronic regularly still. I say this all the time when we're off air, I play DJ Quick is the name, extremely regularly still. I just don't play that. There's just, and I still play Common because I'll still play Like Water for Chocolate. Like this ain't even Common. This ain't even Common's best CD. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like.
I said that in the pod and Joe disagreed with me.
This is, I think, sonically alone, the musically alone on this album, like I just like it was just to Survival's point, his lyrics together with Kanye's production. Say what you want, Kanye was on fire at this point in time.
Right.
This is when he was.
Yeah.
And if you just like just the sounds alone on this album, that from that intro and the beats are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I do think he made a good job of like just the tone of it. So like I think I get what you're all saying. This album isn't a real. It doesn't. I think it's because it's Common. I feel like, this is your what, fifth album? What was this for Common?
It was number 6.
At
least you kept saying on the podcast.
So it's like we know who you are by now, so it's impossible to just we try to vacuum people, but it's hard to vacuum people. But I feel like if this is a debut, it's probably different.
But I think
that, like, you've been around 6 times, so I feel like you're rehashing something else and going through something else in terms of like deepness and content and the breakup and things of that nature. But like just the project alone, I think it's pretty fucking crazy. If he was just some dude, if he's just some dude in some camp, and you had.
But I would say I disagree because I think that I feel the same way as Alicia. You could say whether or not you agree with this, Alicia, but I think the problem with this album is that there's no real highs and there's no real lows, man.
I was just
like it's not like, he's not, we talk about this in the pod. He has like one like even keeled, like that's it. Nigga get angry or get like really sad or get like a strong emotion.
To be fair, he's not the only one though. Like I can think of a guy like Q-Tip. That Nick, like I would be able to listen to that man's voice till the end of time.
That's actually
one guy. I can listen to that all the time.
I don't think Q-Tip will get a classic either, though.
Solo.
So there's that part.
Solo. I'm saying solo. I don't think that he get a classic. No, like because I don't think Q-Tip on his own would get a classic
at all.
I think that, and I don't want to foreshadow too much. I gave the exact same breakdown with B that I did with something else that's upcoming.
Right.
544. And it's like the exact same like formula that happened in my head.
I think you have to have like a risk involved, right? Like this album is like it's safe. It's what we expect from Common, which is why we all think it's great. Which is why like the emails that we got were like, or not the emails, the texts and DMs and shit were like annoying because it's like, man, like
can we get into that real quick?
Yeah, we can. I think that's like there's a lot of folks with like Common capes on who are like angry, and it's like I don't even think Com would fight for this as much as you are. But I don't think he feels that strongly about anything.
Com capes might have been worse than the 50 capes. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Does it need highs or lows though? I don't know, man. I don't know. I listen to Pink Floyd all the time, man. There's no highs. It is fucking amazing. Like it's literally just one stream.
I don't think that this album is just fucking amazing. That's the thing. It's not amazing because it didn't really break. Like there's no new ground broke.
Yeah, he didn't break any new ground.
The folks who have been inboxing us are talking about what he represents.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I don't give a fuck.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I think for most people
to bring this full circle,
that's what people want to go on. Is like what he represents, and we're not here to do that, man, to be objective. So you get that range of 20, 21, 24, and that's all fine because we're all saying like we like this album. Some people like it more than others.
A little bit more.
But it didn't pull. I don't think it pulled enough, man. Like to be like a classic, that shit, man. Like it hits you in your gut, and nothing on this album hits me in my gut.
I don't know. I feel like that's an interesting conversation. Go ahead, Alicia. Go ahead.
When I got finished listening to this, like the first 2 or 3 times, I literally remember thinking, this is like the better version of the Ja Rule album of Vinny Better Vici. Like that didn't, other than the skits, it had no real highs, no lows. It was just good. This is a lot better, but it's just at that better level. Like it's just here. There's nothing that you're gonna put on that's like it.
It's being. It's just
it's literally just being. And But it's a good album. It's a really good album. Like I enjoy listening.
I don't know.
Being is great, but we need being is great, but we need the highs and the lows.
Listen to
It's a gift.
Go ahead, Survivor. Go ahead.
No. I was saying people should definitely listen to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you haven't listened to it, form your own opinion about it. We think this album is very, 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 very good, but we don't think it is. To use a sports analogy, it's not going to the Hall of Fame. Like you're not putting on that gold jacket. You're not giving the the speech about all the work that you've been putting in and roasting your coaches and shit like that. Like that's not what we think of this. Maybe Joel does because he's shaking his head.
Niggas don't like niggas who wear scarves and cardigans at the same time.
No. But I do. That's the thing.
I do though. I like Ron Isley.
Wait a second. Ron Isley. So this is two artists with cardigans and scarves from Chicago.
I bought.
Do we not like Chicago?
Dog, that's what this shit is about, dog.
Do we not?
This shit is about.
Wait,
Get that nigga a classic, dog. Fuck that.
But look what's funny about that though, because my guy had said it too, like, because you're hate for Kanye, and I was like, but I literally just made the point that Kanye made this album, and I said if it wasn't for Kanye, he might have. I was like, if it wasn't for Kanye, he might have got a 2 for Impact.
He might have got a fucking 16.
Let's hear it. The reason I struggled with Impact was because Kanye's impact on it, like the Kanye impact is huge. And this is when Kanye was really about to plateau. This was Kanye in his bag. So when the producer has a bigger impact, this album has a bigger impact on Kanye and Kanye's career than it did for Common. It was just another really good Common album.
It's like a notch. It's a notch on the label's belt rather than a notch on.
I know. I think this album was actually huge for Common because Common was down.
No,
when this album came out, he went.
It was
mutually
definitely saved his career.
Yeah.
I don't think we're arguing that.
Yeah, he was dead in the water when this album came out.
I think what everyone's saying though is that like realistically, what everyone's saying is that the impact wasn't there, and that's really what it boils down to. Because we're all saying like to one degree or another, the production was like top notch. We're all saying to one degree or another, the lyrics were top notch.
I gave
like,
the shit a 3.
That's fine, but I'm saying like where it falls flat ultimately is
exactly
wasn't there.
Exactly.
Like the impact wasn't there musically, and the impact wasn't there on the culture.
I didn't want to put koofies on. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't looking for anything.
I got you. Hold on 1 second. Because talking specifically about impact, that's what was a lot of this discussion was. I'm gonna read this because I was literally just talking about the metrics that we use, like specifically impact. The question, and you guys can say yes or no right here. For impact, was there any artists that came from this album?
No.
Any artists outside of maybe John Legend? Were there any artists that came from this album?
No, he didn't come from this album. No,
everyone was already established.
Okay, was there any producers that?
Wait, no. This album, from an artist standpoint, Common literally died and was rebirthed as Chance in a laboratory. They're the same nigga. They the same weirdo. They the same.
No, you're saying Chance?
Not musically.
That's not even
personality wise.
Literally personality wise, what I'm talking about.
That's fine.
His whole persona.
I mean, now yes, but not early Chance, not 10,000 hours Chance, and not
acid rap Chance.
That's cool.
Not 10,000 hours Chance, and not acid rap Chance.
Wait. So Chance. Did anybody else?
No.
I don't agree with Chance.
I don't even agree with Chance.
Fine, even if I get it.
Right, even if I
I love my wife. That's the original.
Common ain't married.
Niggas never getting married. Man.
Thank you, Chance and Kanye. He got that from Common. It's a corny like.
Okay.
All right, I'll give you that. But who else?
I'm giving that credit to Obama, man. I don't think.
I
don't think
his dad was telling Obama
trying to be Barack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Relax.
Exactly. All right, next up.
Tight on Chance.
Did any producers come from this album?
No, this was all Kanye.
No.
Okay. Did any like albums like this? So, i.e., like how Good Kid, Mad City, we would say comes from a Death Certificate. Did any album come from this outside of Finding Forever, aka B Part 2?
Right. It was just all Common chasing his own dragons.
Okay. Album sales. If we talked about 50s massive album sales.
This went gold.
And it's still gold as of 2021. This came out in 2005 and it's still gold. Maybe platinum if you're, the whole wide world and some stuff that got burned. You know, I don't know. I'm not even saying it's
Yeah.
a diss. We're just talking facts. Awards this album got. The highest award this got, it was the 5th highest album for album of the year via the Billboards. The highest finish it had, period, for album of the year was it finished 3rd in Spain. No number 1, none of that. Fashion.
He's hot in Bartha.
In Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona.
Hey,
It's cracking.
fashion impact. Was anybody wearing, you know, because he got rid of the
koofies and corduroys? Like, no,
he
then.
He got rid of that.
Sweaters.
Yeah, it was a sweater, but it was a sweater era. Did that come from Common?
No.
Nah, that was a sweater era. No.
Okay, so he got a stylist to get him a sweater that we already had access to. Okay. Anything else that I'm missing? Did any of y'all want to be Common after this album?
Apparently, I was Common before this album.
So he wanted to be you.
I guess.
There it is. Joe, did you want to be Common after this album?
Yo, I want to have sex with Serena Williams. Yes, I do. I want to put honey on her ass and do whatever the fuck.
He wasn't
that
dating
dude from
Serena
Reddit's gonna fuck you up.
Right.
He fucked her after this album.
Right after?
It's like, yeah.
Then he called Drake Canada Dry. Oh, let's get into it, man.
I'm gonna agree with you. Like, I feel
Okay.
like this album came out. What was it? 2005, right?
Yeah, it was
2005.
05. Yeah.
2005.
This album was just part of a larger movement. Like, that good music movement was an actual movement outside of snapping. So it wasn't like Kanye. It wasn't like Common's leading the way for anything. But it was like, yo, this is another notch in the belt for good music, because good music was massive around then. Common himself became a movie star after this album. Common himself.
That's true.
A star?
Yeah.
I was just saying.
I want to
come
say.
on,
I want to
right?
say. Wait, I want to say 2 things when you're done. I want to say 2 things.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He had a couple of leads, couple of lines.
Common's shitty acting credits went up tenfold after this album. The whole Microsoft robot bullshit. It's like, I'll do this for impact. I agree with everything you said, literally everything you said. But I think this album is the reason why when someone says the word conscious, they say that nigga's name. Because he was gone. He was gone. Dead Prez was out. Common was gone. When this album came out, it was safe. And he became the ultimate guy for Black consciousness. To this day, if you turn on any channel where they talking about niggas is angry, they call that nigga. And he'll say shit like, yo, we need to be nice to the white
Yo, peace and love, yo.
Yeah, it's funny. That's his role on the Shy too. He's like, yo, why are we so angry? Let me come rescue you, bro.
Yo, I would. The 2 things I was gonna say. I'm glad you pointed it out, Joe. He went on to Stardom and all this stuff. All those movies. Survival pointed out that he's in 79 movies. He said in the podcast.
He's had 3 lines.
No, I was gonna ask which one of those 79 movies is he the main role?
Just right.
The one with
That's
Queen Latifah.
Yeah, no,
Right.
she's the main. No, she's the main. He's a co-star.
That's as close as Con was getting.
That's it. That's it.
That's been. Oh, hold on. That's been his career in rap. When we talk about Like Water for Chocolate, when he was down with Soul Aquarians, Common was Common's a dude. You like him on the 3rd verse. You like him as like, yo, we got Black Dog, we got Dead Prez, and we got Common. Oh, okay, that just sweetened the deal. No one's saying we got Common. You're gonna say who else you got? Who else coming to the
NBA
cookout?
All-Star game though.
No. That's for
You are.
That's for people inside that realm.
In 2005, you're doing the same thing.
No.
Wait, I want to wait. One second. Because I want to bring it to your good music thing. Because you're talking about good music. Common was a great co-sign for Kanye for the hip hop fans before he took off. Right when he did good music, yeah, Common was attaching himself to good music. You said it yourself. Like no one was there for that album. Good music was something bigger that was taking off. So when Common being a part of that, we got Big Sean, we got Pusha T, and we got Common, but Common was not the franchise player. So that's the only point I'm making. Like what he makes is solid music, but he's never been the main dude. And yeah, he was on an island in 2005, and he filled the standard. He didn't take it to the next level. He just filled the standard. Hell, by the next year, Lupe was out.
But to your point, you said Common's not the main dude. He's not to y'all because y'all are in that realm. For people who don't, I never listened to Let's Get Free to this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't listen to that much Black Star. If someone's talking about conscious,
okay.
someone's talking about conscious
I'm not rolling, man, because I was in that space.
But here's the thing.
He's
I'm not
that dude to me.
But here's the thing.
No, that's what Joe's saying because
most people aren't in that space. So when someone talks about conscious rap, that nigga's the first person we think of. Common is literally rap Obama. There's a photo of Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael, and random Obama. That's Common to people outside. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it is.
All right.
Outside of that realm, when people go, oh, we need a guy to talk about what Black people are going through, they call that nigga.
I guess that though to counter that a little bit, that's if you know who he is. Mm-hmm. He only sold 500,000 records. Most people don't know, man. And it's not, and that's no disrespect to him at all. Because if you're hip hop, like if I don't want to say if you're hip hop, I sound like KRS-One. Like, but like, you know, it's I guess if you're old enough and you've been in the culture long enough, then you know Common, right? Like my wife was saying, like, well, I mean, but that was like his first, and I was like, no. Like folks my age, like I know from I Used to Love Her and Resurrection as an album, and
we knew him as Common Sense.
Ice Cube, yeah,
we knew him as before he dropped Sense off his name, yeah, bro.
And from killing Ice Cube on Bitchin' You, you know what I mean? Like to me, that's when I'm like, this dude was that dude, you know what I mean? And he did like Water for Chocolate, which I think we would all say is a classic, which is why we opted not to review that album. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Like after that, it's just kind of like, all right, we've gotten more of the same at a high level, right? Like I don't look at Common as a dude who fell off. Like he's still making good music, like within this pocket in space. You know what I mean? But it's no different from like if you like AZ giving you the same flow every single time, man. Like you know what to expect, and we like it, and we love it even, but it ain't enough risk to get you over that next hump, man.
You know what this album is? And Alicia, I gave your take on this. This is Common Equimini. This is literally like Common had a different career.
Yeah.
So Erykah Badu gave him that good ass pussy and just fucking. After Erykah Badu,
she did not waste her wetness.
He made.
She gave him too much wetness. That was
like Common lost his fucking mind, and we'll talk about it.
She turns out everyone.
Actually, it wasn't. There were rumors of Common, M1, and 3 Stacks making a diss track towards Erykah Badu, which we'll touch after they all filled.
That is some wet.
That's a big ass shit. No, that's a big ass shit.
Oh, wow.
Change y'all's lives, man, and y'all writing diss records.
So the point I'm making to you, Alibi, is I do think this album is, to the casual listener or the younger listener, if this is their first introduction to someone or they don't know someone that well, they're like, oh shit, okay, cool. For me, I knew Common prior to that. I jumped into Common around Like Water for Chocolate, seriously. But to me, this wasn't just about him. It was about him and Kanye coming together. So when I talk about this project, I'm just talking about end result. The end result is I know you, and I know you. Musically, we'll put this together. So, Alicia, I'd like to ask you, do you not like 2000s Common? You know what I mean? Like, do you see this nigga with this cardigan coming with Kanye, doing his thing, and you're like, bro, I don't.
No, I love Common. What?
You do?
I do. I love Common. I
like Common too.
Why?
Why wouldn't I love Common? Common can rap. It has personality. Common says the right things. All like grandmother. Common is one of those generationals that you love. Your grandma loves Common. You love Common. Like, no, there's literally nothing wrong with Common.
Bring him by your grandmama's house. He'll carry some groceries in or whatever.
He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. He's very nice.
He's very nice.
Here's the thing. I don't agree that this is Common's Equimini, and here's why. Equimini has monster hits. This is a really good album without a monster hit. Equimini got Rosa Parks. Let's not ever forget. Equimini, what else is on Equimini?
Is Go the most monster of a hit this album has?
Yeah, easily.
That can't be.
I guess in crossover, I guess. Yeah.
With John Mayer on the hook.
But to me, the reason why I brought up Equimini was the fact that probably 55 years from now, people who aren't huge into Outkast will say that's the best thing they've ever done. Whereas it could be the same for Common. The time they came together and made this album was the one of the great, because this album was certified classic by Double XL. Like literally the day it came out, everybody was like, "Yo, it's a classic. It's a classic."
Double XL, Double XL.
It's a great album.
I'm sorry.
Man,
I
I think it's, but I think none of us would argue with that, right? Like I didn't argue with you because you gave it a 24. I'm not arguing with A-Quil or Alicia because they gave it a 21. That's the thing. Like if this was your intro to Common and you say it's a classic, cool. I knew Common before this, and so I don't necessarily view. I gave it a classic, but I can fully understand somebody why they wouldn't. You know what I mean? In a sense, and a very close, right? Like, but if you were like, I'd feel different if you were like, this album's trash. I'd be like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
This album's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
How do we normalize this conversation where when you say it's not classic, you're not saying it's trash? So no one had said that, and people be like, "Yo, you give a classic? Yo, it's bullshit." And it's like,
here's how though, because I think we're arguing over like pennies.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
That's black folk bullshit. Like, mad. If we set a standard and we don't put something to that standard, we get mad. Like the word "goat" or "greatest" or shit like that. We make it real finite. Like niggas don't play around. We don't do this whole everybody does shit. We like, nah, nigga, like he's better than this motherfucker right here. I blame black women, Alicia. It's y'all. Y'all always be like, you ain't good as this nigga. You won't look as good as him. So we always judge other motherfuckers.
This brother don't speak for me, sister.
Yeah.
He don't speak for the rest of the line.
This segment is not sponsored by Microsoft AI.
That's how black women do when they be like, you wasn't that saying that shit.
You should hang out with different black women.
No, that's how y'all be doing that slash shit. You wasn't saying that shit when women
We
was
should hang out with different black women.
No, I think that's why. If you say the word classic, that's how we're defining this. When people hear not, they're like, whoa, you're crazy. Because we don't play around with that shit. We all like literally.
But it's because of impact. The reason why people would be like, you're crazy is because the people that are saying you're crazy, it didn't impact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bottom line is,
what's up?
I lost my train of thought just that quickly.
Oh no. It's a good point. It's a good point though by Joel. It's like when we introduce all of these albums on the pod, like we make it pretty binary. And I think people get caught up in the way that you're either on one side of the coin or you're not, because we don't really add any nuance to the actual scoring. We add nuance to the categories. You know what I'm saying? Like here's what is the thought behind this, and here's how we arrived. But it's not like nah, this is a 21.75. And it's not a classic. And people are like, yo, what the fuck? Shit, I'm gonna fight you. Put on the cape. So it's like
Common. Captain Save a Common is
that's what I love. Everyone
faithful to Common.
Everyone who is mad at us, stay mad at us. I love have your heroes, bro. Like I'm gonna ride for B.I.G. till I die. I never met him. That's my nigga. If you DMX, if you DJ Quick is the name, which we have to review. If you whoever, like
if you're very nice.
Ride for it. If you love Common, be angry. I don't love Common like this. I just, again, when y'all ain't around, you don't hear the shit these niggas be saying. They be like, fuck Common.
This is insane.
You should see the Slack channel.
Oh man!
When y'all ain't around, they be like, "Yo, these niggas are never gonna get a 22." And where we from? I be trying.
It's 1,000% not what happens.
What's the opposite, right? Because we should be the guys giving him the classic if we're from that realm, right? If, y'all can't sleep on the fact that Joe just called Common. What are them things? The Russian nesting dolls. He was like, "Common's the first dude you see." Huh?
Oh, fuck.
What are them things called? I'm gonna call it a Russian nesting doll. Common's the outer layer. So you got to get past him to get to a Black Star. You get past him to get to Dead Prez. That's where we at, baby. We at the center of this shit. The center, the middle, Dead Prez, baby. You got time for that surface shit.
The legend. I know what I was gonna say. Listening again, if you just listen to this album without the rubrics in front of you, it's absolutely a classic because there's not a bad song on here. There is absolutely positively no low. I mean,
Alex,
I don't know why you hate Gold so much. Alibi is a hater. I think that's just that light skin. I don't like this light skinned man.
He don't like John Mayer either. He don't like how he disrespected Taylor Swift. You don't like that?
Alibi.
Oh my god.
Alibi, get over.
Oh, the narratives, man. Messed up, bro. Messed up, bro.
Alicia, I agree with you.
They got you out of hating like other light skinned folks, man. You was common before common in college, bro. Defend yourself.
It's sonically a great to classic album, but I think when you start to layer in, and we decided on the rubric like what 2 years ago or something like that, and we had to kind of bring into play some sort of like sonic or non-audio intangible. Like how does this affect people? Did you want to be this artist when it came out? Did you were the
nigga froze because he's lying. That's what exactly. That's what happened.
Really listen to an argument about, you know what I'm saying?
You froze.
Oh, my bad.
We actually didn't know what you were saying.
Oh, my bad. It's all good. Was I just like?
You were like,
oh, shit.
yo. I'll say this much. Just in regards to production, the production was so phenomenal on this album, was so great. I literally forgot Kanye had a verse on any song. I knew he was on hook.
Me?
Did he rap?
He rapped on They Say.
You don't even remember.
Yeah. I hated that verse. I hate that verse.
Yo, if I would have remembered he rapped when I did the lyrics, I was already like some of Common punches is kind of, but I can give him a 5. Had I known,
this motherfucker said fame ass, and I was like, no, no.
To be fair,
yeah, we gave Kanye a lot of flowers. We gotta get him a little bit, bro.
You're the only one who hates that. Black.
I hate that.
Not the only
people words that don't rhyme all the time. We mispronounce words all the time.
Yeah, like
no, we do not.
Yes, we do.
No, we do. We're Minneapolis. Everywhere outside of Minneapolis.
Why?
Minneapolis.
It's not that hard to pronounce.
My daddy says like that all the time, y'all. My daddy be like, "You in Minneapolis?" Daddy, not Minneapolis.
Black people don't say ask. If a black person came up to me and said, "I'm gonna ask you a question," he's a fucking cop. It's ax, my nigga. It's ax. It's earth.
Again, it's not. We read books. We read books. It is not.
Definitely reads books.
Light-skinned.
Definitely.
What books he read?
That verse was trash.
Autobiography.
No one should defend that verse.
38 Laws of Pussy.
The Art of Cunnilingus.
Definitely. Definitely reading the Kama Sutra.
Oh man, snipers. Anything else we missed on this podcast? Any guys have a favorite video off this album?
Let's just end this because you niggas is haters, dog. You know what? I don't even know why even you guys just don't want to give these niggas.
we still didn't get addressed what we said we were going to address either.
Did you notice he took the hoodie off and put the cape on?
DMX threw it off, man. I don't even know. What else are we going to talk about?
A-Quil already told you to be on that black shit, and I don't like that.
Joe want that murder, man. Joe was the one that was really hitting us for the 50 Cent album, dog. He was saying all in the episode, dog. He was the one that was hitting us, man. Yo, it sold 20 million worldwide. I'm like, man, don't have an aim, please.
You know what's funny? 50 Cent's album was the one I listened to again, and I was like, this shit is not what I remember. This shit is not. I think I gave 50 a 20. I gave him a 20. So I was. It was fun while it lasted, but it's whatever. This album, though, that's a funny thing about B, though.
Well, man,
I'm not mad about anybody's scores. I'm joking because y'all do have a distaste for Kanye, which we'll have to revisit.
It has nothing to do with Common, though. Why do we keep doing that parallel? I don't understand it.
Y'all heard him say wheels in that high pitched tone, and you were like, in my heart.
We gave production a 5.
No.
So how do you like? I don't understand.
Didn't we all give production a 5?
No, Survivor.
That's fine. Because Testify is nuts. Testify and go.
You kiss me. But that video was cool though. The Testify video.
Yeah, I like the video.
I could never figure out why I didn't like Testify, but I think Alibi, you said it on the podcast. He just doesn't deliver it very well. It's just when this
this bitch
the queen.
Yeah, Alibi, didn't you have a conversation where you had someone listening to Testify on repeat all day, like after the pod?
Somebody, yeah. Well, no, there was, yeah, somebody who that was their favorite song, and that was absolutely insane to me.
Gucci, stop. Gucci.
That sounds fine.
Alibi, yeah. What do we not address? I forgot.
Well, we were supposed to talk about how someone suggested that the issue with Common is that he represents a different type of masculinity that we don't condone or support.
What type of masculinity is that, though?
I don't know, because I literally don't have an issue with that, because I feel like in the breakdown of my daily life, if you were trying to make the argument that like Calm is soft, right. I'm softer, like in my daily life. Like I take care of my so that had nothing. My views on any of that had nothing to do with it, man.
How do you think they would because I don't know how deep the conversations were. How do you think they would reconcile his niceness with his status on the sniper list? I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely hard to like overlook the other. Like, does one lead to the other, or like
I don't know, some of the other stuff that we didn't even touch on the podcast because we were being nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think he didn't like. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question, because I feel like ultimately what it ends up being is like not being objective. I don't have that agenda, right? Mm-hmm. Like I don't feel strongly around. Like they wanted us to hit more on the conversation around sexism and misogyny in hip hop, and I personally just don't link the two when it comes to Common, because I don't feel like Common is absent of misogyny. Like, cool. So he represents like a masculinity that's maybe covers more ground in some respects, but like me and A-Quil were talking earlier this week, like okay, so it's a mile wide, but I feel like it's like an inch deep, man. Like it's not, it ain't like extra deep. I've heard other artists, some of whom maybe get knocked for their misogyny, who have shared more and deeper. You know what I mean?
Well,
go ahead.
In terms of like what they talk about, or
yeah, because what they were saying is like the willingness to be vulnerable, the willingness to discuss things like love, subjects like abortion and homophobia, like all of these topics. And I feel like cool. Like, so Common's a regular dude that got opinions on that stuff. He's been on the wrong side of some of those opinions throughout his career, and he's corrected those things, and he's grown. And I think that's what we should all hope for. But my whole thing is like, when you list those topics, that's not the majority of his content. It's a song here, it's a song there, it's a song there. His music has like a misogynist, like I won't want to say misogynist, but there's an element of like womanizing throughout all of his music, which is something that go ahead, Alicia.
Righteous bitches get low.
Common raps about bitches and blunts. I mean, he does. He just does it in a more
differently.
Sophisticated way. Instead of saying, I want to have a threesome with these two bad bitches, he says, let's explore hot love in the third degree. You know what I'm saying? Like,
1,000.
It's a psychology thing. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Common is a nigga.
One of them makes you feel better than the other?
The difference is Common is a man, and we're men. The fact of the matter is, when women like you, they let you get away with more shit. That's it. Women like
he's a handsome dude that they fuck with, man.
Exactly. That's it.
Approach. Absolutely.
Exactly. The same way dudes look at women, and the women we quote unquote respect. When we found out they was getting trains run them all the time, we'd be like, "Oh my god, oh she got a train." But in reality, is we're all the fucking same. Like it is.
But to say to the point that was being, and I agree with you, to the point that was also being made, you know, that 95% of rap music is extra misogynist. One, I don't know if I'm rolling, and two, I feel like if we're comparing like someone who's if we're to say hip hop in general is on a 10 when it comes to that, and Common's on like a 7, like great. I'm not giving you. I'm not giving you props for that. It's like that Chris Rock skit where he's like, yo, like, you supposed to do that shit. You're supposed to take care of your kids. I'm not giving extra points for that. I'm weighing it on how dope are you? How authentic are you? How much do I feel your music? And so all I could really say is like, look, man, I don't feel it. I don't believe it. You know what I mean? And I don't like it to the extent that other people do.
Do you think that factors into the negative as well as the positive? Because from the positive, there are people who push up.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. You're overweighing that, and that's cool because that's the shit that you really fuck with. I like my music with aggression, bro. Like sometimes I want to hear like a nigga just be like, "Yo, I'll smack the shit out of you." You know what I mean? I don't feel like Common's ever said that.
If it's authentic, take it.
Yeah.
So it's Common Kirk Cousins.
He might be, man. I don't know.
Let's get up out of here, man. Unless we got anything else.
I don't.
Thank you. Okay. I know we know Joe's got to get up out of here. Survival. He had enough, man.
He's MIA.
He had enough of this light skin hate. But yeah. Speaking of light skin hate, maybe. Next week, Canada Dry. Common had beef with this guy over Serena Williams. We are doing Drake's Thank Me Later next week.
Alicia, I sent you the rubric too, so you're good to go.
Spoiler alert, it goes the same way.
Look at this dude.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
We don't roll in your eyes.
We don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure.
Y'all don't like niggas who fuck Serena Williams, dog. That's what I come down.
No. I like Reddit. I'm on Reddit.
Can I tell you right now, no Aubrey hate will be tolerated.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what, Alicia? You're lucky that I'm not there then.
Oh, damn.
No, she's still gonna need to buckle up.
Well, hey, that concludes.
You know what? Maybe I'll send him some notes. I'll be in the chat, but I'm not gonna be in the episode.
Just leave your 2s and 3s wherever you are. You don't need to.
Nah, I'll be there.
Oh yeah, I forgot. So probably you're out of here next week.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll be on the sideline.
We got to get another person in. We got to sub somebody in.
It's a scheduled maintenance.
I'll take all the hate on my back. Let's go, man. I'm gonna carry survival.
I still need that baby survival pick.
Oh, you better be prepared.
Oh yeah, I got you.
My man. Well, yeah, let's get up out of here officially. Thank y'all for joining us. This was another episode of the Liner Notes Live, episode 21, Comments B, 21.8. It was so close to a classic, but it wasn't, but it's still great. It's very nice. It is incredibly nice. It is so nice. It'll give you groceries to your grandmama and all that stuff. Thank y'all. You can tune in for our next episode. We're covering Drake. That'll be dropping on Wednesday. So you guys listen to Thank Me Later now, as soon as you can listen to us on Wednesday. And then we'll join back here next Friday. Again, that drops on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, where you can download or stream your podcast. You can also hit us on the Liner Notes 79 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're also on YouTube. We set the nasty link, but I'm telling you, once we get over to get the brand new link, we'll bring the shoulders out. I'll bring the body out. Joe will bring the beard out. Scribe will take the glasses off. All that, you know what I mean? Hit the link tree. Liner Notes Crew at gmail.com is the email if you want to hit us there. And all the comments, lovely stuff and hateful stuff, we don't care. Put it on social media, put it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Do the ratings there. No more texting us, no more, none. Put them on the public platforms. We out of here. Joe, Survival, Alibi, Alicia, our guest once again. She's not a guest, but she's our guest, you know what I mean? She here. And A-Quil, we out till next time. Thank y'all. Have a nice weekend. We appreciate you.
Love, y'all.
Love. Be loved, Joe. Be loved, Joe.
Have a great weekend, y'all. If y'all need some groceries, carry.
You don't even talk like that. See how you showed this? I don't like you, motherfuckers. No. 2 albums, y'all.
Are we done streaming?
Yeah.
No way.